كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله.
Assalamu alaikum. Hey guys, this is Abdul Shahid, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly how you can become anything that you absolutely want to become. The number one way to become who you want to be is to first believe that you can become that. Now, number one, believe that you can do it. Believe that you can do anything. Believe that nothing can stop you from becoming who you want. And let me tell you exactly how you did it when you were a child. When you were a child and you watched a movie or a cartoon, or you watched something or read something about some superhero, like, what did you do afterwards? Like, you finished watching and then you started to behave as though you were that superhero. You were that person that you were trying to emulate. You started talking like them, you started behaving like them, you started pumping your chest out like them, you started flexing your muscles like them, you started behaving in exactly the way that you perceive that person to be. And for a while there, you believed that you were that person. Now, when you came into the working world, what did you do? You were given the title of assistant or trainee something, and you assumed that role. You started to do the things that the qualified person would do. You started to behave and imitate like that person. We do it all the time. People in their minds are training for that perfect role, but while they're training, they behave like the one that they're trying to become. Like in my earlier career, I was working as a consultant, but in the beginning I was a trainee. And I would sit and I would watch the consultants, and I would watch how they would behave, how they would do their daily tasks, and then I would emulate them. I would copy them. Children do it all the time. We do it all the time. Adults do it all the time. We all behave like how we want to be. So if you want to become anything, then you have to look towards what you want to become, and you have to start pretending like you are that. You have to start behaving as though you are heading towards that, because that's the first step. Like, you can't become a lawyer, you can't become an accountant, you can't become a teacher or any of these things until you start to do the things that these people do. The people who have years of experience, they began where you are now, having no experience. So they decided that that's what they're going to become, and then they started to behave like them. They started to put themselves in a position where they would do exactly what these people do. So that's key number one. Believe that you can do it. Key number two is seek out the knowledge that you need to become that person. Like, every person of any trade or any profession or anything has an amount of knowledge and understanding that they need to have in order to be that professional. For you to become a professional, you have to learn and be like a professional. A professional is someone that has mastered their area. A professional is someone that is continually mastering their area. They're continually seeking out education in that path, and you need to do exactly the same. So you need to find out exactly what they know, and then you need to learn that. Key number three is keep taking action. Keep pretending that you are already that person until you get there. If you keep doing the actions of that person, eventually you will become better and better and better until you become the best. You become better than anyone else. And if you want to become the best in that role or in that position or whatever it is that you're trying to become, then you need to keep taking action every single day, whether you feel like it or you don't, because most of the time we have the emotional ups and downs. We have lack of motivation, we have lack of willpower, we have lack of everything. But if you keep taking one more step every single day, then inshallah you will get there. This reminds me of the famous story of Umar radiallahu anhu, who came upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and they were both crying. And Umar, he said to them, "Why are you crying, O Messenger of Allah? Oh Abu Bakr, why are you crying?" And he wanted to know what it was that they were doing, what were they feeling, what were they thinking. He wanted to know. And his response was that, like, tell me what it is, because if it doesn't make me cry, then I will pretend to cry. I will pretend to do it until it happens to me. Why did he say that? He said that because for as long as you behave like you want to be, if you continually behave like how you want to be, you will ultimately become like that. So as long as you take the action, like, you will get there. So inshallah, I'll leave you with that. If you benefited from this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and inshallah I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.